Things just continue to get more and more exciting when it comes to new potential reports of the Nintendo Switch 2, and we've got a bunch of good news concerning the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons or analog sticks, some further confirmation of some awesomeness coming up, a big announcement and reveal for the Nintendo store in California, a big demo as well for a highly anticipated game, and some massive sales for a rumored Nintendo Switch 2 game that's probably going to be happening. So we got a lot to go over here today, guys. Let's first start off with this big rumor that a report is indicating that over 380,000 Nintendo Switch 2 units have already been shipped to North America. So they are getting locked in, primed up, and ready to go when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, the info here comes from a user, LIC, over on the Family Boards forums. Now, according to his research, a Vietnamese manufacturer called HVBG was contracted by Nintendo themselves and has already produced and shipped over 383,000 Nintendo Switch 2 systems. Now, more specifically, those units were shipped to North America in January, are intended for distribution throughout the United States and Canada. In addition to the consoles themselves, LIC is reporting that HVBG has shipped 41,598 charging grip units as well. Now, this is very interesting that he's got some exact numbers for the charging grips. That's such an odd number to make up if he was making this up. Apparently, this user has been accurate on his information and his research before, but 41,598, not like 41,000 flat, or 42,000 or 41,500, but the 98 there on the 41,598. Very interesting overall. If the news is accurate here, it seems like Nintendo is planning on launching this system maybe a bit sooner than expected, although I'm expecting a early June launch, so it does maybe line up with that. But yeah, some people are thinking maybe it's going to be a May launch, or maybe there's going to be something sooner than that. Now, Nintendo has taken a shotgun approach at times to marketing when it comes to certain games, where they have a announcement of a product and it's releasing sometime soon after that, and I think that the Nintendo Switch 2 could be that. I'm still banking on it being probably June, but you never know. If this report is accurate, it seems way too early to be shipping Nintendo Switch 2 units off if you aren't going to launch those sometime in April or May, if this report is accurate. Now, once again, they just might want to have the units there and secure for some time so they can continuously add and build up to get a large amount, and that could be it, because you never know what's going to be happening with the tariffs or other types of things. So if you get those shipped out and sold beforehand, you can kind of adjust and you can switch manufacturing and do different types of things to avoid some of those problems, like Mr. Furukawa has said. So I do think that this is a little bit more of preventative measures to make sure that there isn't problems overall when it comes to the launch. Get those units that are done and ready, get them out there and shipped, get them paid for, everything done, and then plan accordingly as you get closer to launch when you start seeing the demand build up, because this thing is going to be heavy in demand. But what else is heavy in demand is you guys that are not subscribing to the actual channel here, PlayerEssence. So I'd appreciate that, because we would all love and welcome you guys. The demand is definitely there for more subscribers to come through. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell as well. And let me know what you're most excited about when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct April presentation and everything. Let's jump into another Nintendo Switch 2 topic here that I find incredibly interesting, and once again confirms what we've been talking about. Also, what happened with the patent that Nintendo had with the Hall effect. Now, apparently, Nintendo is using Hall effect sensors in the Alarmo dial. Now, the big thing about this is that we all know what happened with the Nintendo Switch 1 and the Joy-Cons there. With the non-Hall effect joysticks, the drifting was a major problem. Nintendo had a patent, I think last year or so, and we also had a confirmation, at least from someone who appears to be correct when it comes to having a Nintendo Switch 2 unit, that have opened it up and says, look, Hall effect joysticks are in for the Nintendo Switch 2. So they're going to be considerably harder to make drift, which was a huge problem with the Nintendo Switch 1. Now, a new teardown of the alarm here, it looks like it's been discovered that the alarm clock does use a Hall effect sensor on its dial. The dial is used both as a button to confirm selections and a dial to scroll through selections. Now, here's the thing. Maybe Nintendo didn't want the dial to be able to drift and accidentally pick something or accidentally register a button press when it couldn't, but it looks like Nintendo is taking full use of that Hall effect patent that they do have. And I do think that if they're putting it into the sensors of the Alarmo dial, they're absolutely testing out that tech for the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons and the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. So this is definitely good news overall. I love to hear that Nintendo is making this upgrade, because the Nintendo Switch 1 era was fantastic. But if there was one thing that was probably a big issue outside of the frame rate with some of the games and not being able to get some ports and all that, it was definitely the Joy-Con situation and the issues that they had there. There was lawsuits, there was all sorts of stuff. So if they can get that situated here with Hall effect from the beginning, and then also have the lit games that I know that are going to be revealed soon here, this is going to be a much better launch and a much better, I would say, generation when it comes to having at least one less big controversy to deal with, because there's always controversies with any generation. It's been happening since the beginning. But I do think that this would be good, because there were so many people that were upset and had to buy so many different pairs of Joy-Cons. So this Hall effect tech is being put to good use, and I do think that we are. Actually, I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point that it's in the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons, in addition to the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. Now, let's jump into another big thing here that people are talking about, and that is May 15th, because yes, the Nintendo San Francisco store is opening. Grand opening May 15th. And there's going to be a lot of stuff happening here, and I am probably going to go. I don't want to sit here and say that it's 100%, but I'm not too far away. It's about probably like 5 hours or so. So yeah, it's something that I can definitely check out. This is the first official store outside of the Nintendo New York store that they've ever done. So they've done some little things here and there in terms of traveling and having merch at like Nintendo Seattle events and things like that, but they've never done another store outside of New York. So the fact that there is going to be a huge Nintendo store in California is definitely a cool thing, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, officially on Twitter, Nintendo said this: on May 15th, Nintendo will open the doors to Nintendo San Francisco, its second official store in the United States. Details on reservation requirements and an early look at exclusive products will be shared as we approach the grand opening. There's also a sweepstakes for, I think, like you and 2 other friends to win like all expenses paid trip, hotels, and all that type of stuff. So there will be more details on the Nintendo of America Twitter page if you want to check that out, or Nintendo of America X page. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really cool to see Nintendo finally get another store here in the West Coast. So hopefully I can attend and buy some cool stuff and maybe get you guys some live vlogging from that event as well. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the next topic here. A big RPG, Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land demo, launching on March 17th. And the thing that all of us RPG fans want to hear, the save data transfers over to the full game. This is something that, in my opinion, just completely bumps up the potential for sales and interest in the game. So publisher Koei Tecmo and developer Gus will release a demo for Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land on March 17th. The companies have announced the demo will allow you to play from the prologue to the early game main quest, pioneering Ligneous region, experiencing gathering ingredients on the field, battles, synthesis, and building. Save data from the demo can be carried over to the full game. Now, Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land is due out for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam on March 21st worldwide. That is one day after Assassin's Creed Shadows and Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. So it is a packed next week. That is pretty much next week, guys, right? Yeah, that's pretty much next week. So it is packed between Thursday and Friday with great, huge, beefy RPGs and beefy games. Assassin's Creed Shadows, probably going to be a lot there to do in that game. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, obviously massive game. And Atelier Yumia, we finally got some games with a little bit more in my style coming out, so very excited to dig into Atelier Yumia. The game is probably going to be pretty good, and of course you guys can experience this demo. From what they've shown, the combat looks incredible. I do love the upgrades, being able to have cooldowns between the different attacks, different ranges in terms of inner and outer, different skills that are associated with that. The collecting and all that kind of looks like Breath of the Wild at times and everything. Looks like they've improved the alchemy system as well based off the previews. So yeah, very much excited when it comes to Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories, and the Envisioned Land. And these titles are always so long overall. I don't know why they make them so long. I think Japan likes the longer titles. Here in America and more like the West, like the shorter titles are better. I probably think just like Atelier Yumia is good, and then you want to do the next one, Atelier Yumia 2. But hey, it's all good. Like, there's probably a big reason, just like Atelier Ryza and all the different subtitles that they had for that game. I think there's probably a good reason why they have those long titles overall. But yeah, what do you guys think Atelier Yumia so far? Let me know in the comment section. They also released a new gameplay video as well, showing off some of the action. It's really cool. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. But we are going to move on to another game that's rumored, pretty much almost leaked by the creator of the game, to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. But we've got some sales updates for it, which is definitely good news. Split Fiction. Sales have topped 2 million in 1 week. Man, Hazelight, Josef Fares, they don't miss at this point. So total sales for cooperative action-adventure game Split Fiction have surpassed a whopping 2 million units in just 1 week after its release. Publisher Electronic Arts and developer Hazelight has announced. The milestone comes after the game sold over 1 million units within its first 2 days of sale. Split Fiction launched for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam on March 6th. Now, for those who don't know, Josef Fares, he's pretty outspoken, kind of a brash guy out there. He's the F the Oscars guy. And yeah, man, he knows how to make co-op. He's been making co-op games now for a long time, and all of them have had good success. Heck, It Takes Two sold like 20-something million plus units, and it won Game of the Year back in 2021 from the Game Awards. So they know what they're doing there. They've got more cash in order to make their games, and you can really tell when it comes down to it. But Josef and his team with Hazelight, they just know how to tap that, I would say, really fun aspect of cooperative gameplay and multiplayer that you used to play back in the day, but they've done it in a way that completely revolutionizes and modernizes how co-op works in today's day. So they are absolutely at the forefront of this. And of course, we gotta talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 and how this game's probably going to be maybe a launch title for it or a very early title, because Josef Fares on 2 different occasions has almost let it slip that it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2. First, he talked about how he knows a lot about the system and he can't really discuss it, and there's stuff and surprises coming. And then again, there was a question about the Nintendo Switch 2 and like if it's going to be there, and he was like, and he kind of had to catch himself up.
Is Split Fiction going to be a launch game for the Switch 2?
Ooh, you almost got me there, man. We'll see what happens.
I do think that it's happening. They did It Takes Two on the Nintendo Switch, and that was a success as well. That helped contribute to the 20 million plus sales of the game. So I absolutely think that Split Fiction is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm happy for him. Hazelight, their studio, obviously, jobs can continue flowing in there. People there can get paid, and we can continue to get awesome games from him. And congrats, yeah, 2 million units in 1 week is a very big accomplishment, especially for a game. This is not like the biggest AAA type of game. This is definitely more of a super high-end AA or very low-end in terms of production budget, low-end AAA game. And the fact that they're able to sell 2 million full price for the most part across all these different platforms before the Nintendo Switch 2 is even factored in, which is going to be a factor when it comes to game sales, especially for titles like this. That's definitely a good thing overall. But What do you guys think when it comes down to it on everything that we discussed here, from the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff to Atelier, Yumia, and more? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch RPG videos and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.